Okay. Okay. Hello. I think that's hello. Okay. Sorry, I'm running late as always. She was watching Hawkeye, so I had to finish that before I came in. I can't even talk. Hair's a mess. Everything's a disaster. I guess I'll do the typical YouTube thing of if everyone can hear me. I don't know if this mic sucks or not. It might actually suck. So if it sucks, let me know. I can switch to something. Um, but yeah. So I guess I'll do the whole YouTube thing of let's just wait for some more people to show up. We're just gonna wait for a few more. That's always annoying. But while we do wait for some people to join the live chat of The Witcher, I need to pull up my put this. There we go. Okay. Let me pull up my cheat sheet. So I've never had to do this with any other show that I've ever recapped before in my life, but with The Witcher since thank you so much, Burger. With The Witcher, since the names aren't exactly John, Phil, Bob, and Mary, I literally have a cheat sheet in my phone of whose people are, what they did, so that way I can like quickly get through it because shows like this are an absolute pain. Um, I'm really realizing now how bad my hair is just completely messed up from my hoodie. So yeah, it's tough. And by the way, once again, if my volume is off, just let me know. Um, and it's one of those things where I know that people that watch the show that end up watching my recaps, I know you guys get annoyed with it because I will mispronounce one name, I'll mispronounce a city, a town, whatever it is. Look, it's going to happen. Okay, I understand nerd culture, and people take this. I mean, like as a personal attack when, God forbid, the dude recapping the show mispronounces Geralt of Riva, and I say Geralt of Rivia. I, suck it up, suck it up, Buttercup. I don't know what to tell you. All right, it's not easy for me. It'd be a lot easier if it was Geralt from Springfield, but it's not. It's Geralt from Rivia. So, anyway, show's over. Hopefully, at this point, you are aware this is going to contain spoilers. So, if you haven't finished it, if you haven't watched it, I would bail out now and just smash that thumbs down button. So, second season I found to be pretty good. The first season, honestly, I didn't really like. I liked it up until a point. I the first 3 or 4 episodes I thought dragged like crazy, and I didn't really know where it was going. I didn't understand it. If you haven't been able to tell, I did not read the books. I did not play the video games. I didn't do any of that. So I'm going in cold as just some Joe Schmo who heard the buzz about The Witcher, and I am completely confused by everything. And the problem with doing some of these recaps is when I start doing a recap, you get one episode. I can't stop. Just because I don't like the show doesn't mean I can stop. If I started, I have to finish it. That was a situation with the show. But towards, I would say episodes, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever the last couple episodes were, I ended up really, really liking it. And I ended up coming around to it. Season 2 starts, and it was a little bit of the same, but at least I was understanding a lot of it, what was going on. But once again, it's kind of confusing at times of exactly who is doing what is this character up to, the different terminology that they use. I can't be the only one that's confused by it. Luckily for people out there that just watch the show, hey, you're just able to, hey, be like, all right, I don't know what this guy does, but they'll figure it out. Me, I'm in a different situation. So, wow, that just there's a hole in my straw. Wow, this live chat's off to a rousing start. Smash thumbs down. So, the season starts out and Geralt goes to that dude's place, I believe, that he knows. And I was digging that character until you find out obviously that he ended up becoming a half man, half boar by raping a priestess. But that whole character development, and the problem is the show does this a lot, which drives me nuts, is they'll introduce a character and you'll start kind of getting into them. And they did this with Eskel too, where they introduce them and then within 45 minutes they're dead. And Maybe that's the way it is in the video game. Maybe it's the way it is in the books. But for me, it just kind of drives me nuts because I don't know who I can get attached to and who I can't. Now, in some instances, that's good. Some shows have done that before successfully, but with this show, it drives me nuts because I want some more character development than just the 3 or 4 mainstays of the show. Um, but whatever. The guy ends up dying, or well, you figure he dies. Geralt just leaves him and says, "You do it yourself." He wanted to die. Um, but the whole thing with the show that I do like is the fact that Geralt does actually care for Ciri, and he cares about living up to that promise of the law of surprise and honoring that and protecting this girl. But I like the fact that she wanted to step out on her own this season and really assert herself as a person and not this princess because her whole life was a lie and she's learning that, but she truly doesn't understand how powerful she is. But I like the fact that there was this father-daughter relationship, and they at least acknowledged that this season. Last season's cliffhanger, if you want to call it that, of him finding her was awesome. I loved it, and the fact that it picked up right there, and you've got Tissaia looking for Yennefer. There's another example, Yennefer. Like, why can't she just be Jennifer? Why do you gotta be Yennefer? Just make her Jennifer so I can call her Jen. I understand people call her Yen. It was annoying anyway. That's a personal problem for me. Smash thumbs down. So I like that fact. I like the fact that he ends up rolling up like, yo, where's Yennefer? And Tissaia, who's distraught, is like, who the hell are you? And then she ends up realizing later on in the show, shit, that was the guy that everyone's kind of looking for with the girl that everyone's looking for. So I like that aspect of it. That at least some of these characters are kind of melding into one. Um, some things though that I don't like about the show is other than the names. I'm gonna have to get back to you. If anyone has any questions, by all means, throw it out. Um, I kind of wanted to do, truthfully, to be quite honest, I kind of wanted to do one on Succession. Everyone voted for The Witcher instead. Um, so I'm kind of relying on people out there to throw me some questions on this, and we can have a live chat. But um, yeah, some of the things that I don't like about the show are, as I said, the characters getting killed off way too quickly. The names drive me nuts. Other than that, I mean, it's the storyline is a bit confusing for someone that hasn't watched this or played the video games or read the books. A little bit confusing at times. Um, I was relieved to go from The Witcher to another show that is dropping on Netflix in the end of December. I'm sure you can figure it out. I can't exactly say what it is. I was relieved to go to that. It's easier for a simpleton like myself to follow along. But yeah, The Witcher is is a complex storyline that is tough for me to follow at times. With that said, I do like it, and I like this season a lot more than I liked last season. Um, that was one of the things with the poll question I put out there. 89% said they liked it, 11% said they were disappointed. The ending of season 2, I thought was awesome because I did not see that coming with Ciri's dad being the White Flame. That threw me for a loop, to be quite honest. I wasn't expecting that, and I'm sitting there watching the episode thinking, who could it be? Who are they going to introduce? It has to be somebody that they've talked about, and it ends up being him. So I like that aspect of it. Who killed the elven baby? All right. Um, if you haven't, Simon, let me know if you've watched the whole show because they do reveal who it is. If you haven't watched the whole show, I don't want to reveal it, but they do reveal at the end who killed the elven baby. That was another thing that was confusing. Was I'm watching it going, all right, well, did I'm drawing a blank on their name. This is the problem with the show is I can't ever remember anyone's name. Did the Nilfgaardians do it? Did what's her name? And this could have happened a lot, so I apologize. Did oh my god, what is her name? Smash thumbs down for this because I can't remember anyone's name. I'm gonna have to pull up IMDb. It was I am so sorry for this. I told you these names drive me nuts in the show. I've only done 2 live chats, and this is by far, we're 10 minutes in, by far the worst one I've ever done. Smash thumbs down. Frangilla. Did Frangilla kill it or did the Nilfgaardians do it? Frangilla snapping, loved. You know, the fact that she finally got sick of asking for help and trying to play good. Okay. If you've seen the whole show, good, you have. I'm going to get to your question in a second. But the fact that she finally just came back and was like, all right, my uncle's not helping me. He thinks I am an idiot. He thinks that I need to, quote, know my role. I'm going to show them. And the fact that she went back and stood up for herself and killed all those guys that didn't want to follow her from Nilfgaard, that was probably my favorite part of this season. It's just the savagery of her coming back, freezing all of them, and slowly murdering every single one as they all had to watch. Love that. At the end of the second season, when they reveal who the White Flame is, who is Ciri's dad, he reveals that he was the one who killed the elven baby. Kahar or Kahir, I get ripped in the comments all the time for mispronouncing his name. You know what I'm talking about. Him and Frangilla discussed it, and they said, you know, it'd probably be pretty good if we lied about this and decided that we were going to be the ones to take claim for killing the elven baby. It'll impress the White Flame. They tried to do that, and then the White Flame is like, that's funny because I'm the one who ordered the killing of the elven baby. So now I'm arresting both of you guys, and you guys are screwed, and you know I'm taking over. And he revealed it at the end of saying, I'm the one who ordered the murder of the elven baby. I still don't understand why. He claims that it's because that was the easiest path for him to get back his daughter, aka Ciri. I don't quite understand how the two equate. And I guess you're going to learn that in season 3. But exactly, like Simon, it's very complex. But one of my favorite new characters, and I'm interested who everyone thinks out there. One of my favorite newer characters was Vesemir. I love that angle of it. I love the fact that he wasn't. I have this idea in my head of Witchers, I guess from season 1, of them kind of being like Geralt, where they're all rough and rugged and devoid of any emotion whatsoever. And to see Vesemir and to see that mentor like, you know, father figure to all of these Witchers who really cared about him, it was a layer of a Witcher that I wasn't expecting and I liked, because I just expected these guys to be soulless and go out there and kill monsters and do their thing, and it wasn't that case at all. You know, the character of Vesemir shows that no, these guys actually have a place to go. They do get beat up, and not only that, but they do die off. And maybe they discussed it in season 1, but the fact that there were only about 20 left every single time one dies, it becomes a big deal. And that's one of the reasons why Vesemir wanted her blood so badly, when he figures out that her blood could really create, you know, has the ingredient to create new Witchers and keep his people alive. I understood his struggle with that. You know, you've got this guy that you raised since birth in Geralt of Riva, or Rivia, however I said it. And he's protecting this girl, but this girl is dead set on not just giving you her blood. She's dead set on becoming a Witcher. And it's like, all right, well, to keep my people alive, you're sacrificing one. And I think at the time he didn't quite understand how important Ciri was and what she truly is. But so here's the thing. Nightmare of the Wolf. I think for the purposes of recapping shows just on my channel, I'm probably just going to stick with The Witcher because it is so complex. And doing a show like The Witcher takes probably an hour longer per episode than other shows that I do, because of the fact that this is, quite frankly, it's nerd culture. I'm going to screw up. I'm going to get names wrong. I'm not going to understand certain things. I'm going to skip over things that were important. I'm going to mention things that aren't important, that I think are important, that turn out they're not. And, you know, it ends up being is the juice worth the squeeze kind of thing. Now, look, for me, The Witcher does pretty decently on the channel, but it's also one that I know that if I look in the comment section, and this is one of the reasons why I try to avoid the comment section. I know that if I look in the comment section, it's just everybody pointing out what I got wrong, how I mispronounce names. It's like it's just for my mental psyche. I might watch Nightmare of the Wolf. I'm probably not going to recap it, to be quite honest with you. It's not. Um, it's a lot like Game of Thrones to me, but like even more complex than that. And I love Game of Thrones, but at least Game of Thrones had, they threw a John in there. The Witcher, I mean, Yennefer's the closest to a normal name I get, and it's Yennefer. No one out there names their kid Yennefer. I mean, Siri, the only reason I remember Siri is because of my iPhone. So just for my mental psyche, probably not going to recap Nightmare of the Wolf. I might check it out, but I have a lot of other shows as I need to silence my phone. And I understand it's a very popular thing, but like even it's a tricky situation anytime I recap a show that's like a nerd culture show. If I do, whether it be anything on Disney Plus, whether it be this, if I did do Game of Thrones, because you mispronounce one name and all of a sudden Lance, who is the manager at the Best Buy Geek Squad, is taken as a personal attack, and all of a sudden he becomes a keyboard warrior, and that just hurt my feelings. So yes, Vigelfort's planning something to get serious. I don't like Vilgefortz, and honestly, I think it's because of his stupid name, but also I don't like him, and I don't know why. Something about him. You know, how the hell did he become like the leader of the Brotherhood? How? Like who decided that Vilgefortz? What does he do? What did he do to become leader of the Brotherhood? Were they that bad? Like all the other people sucked so bad that it's like, let's give Vilgefortz a shot. All of a sudden, he becomes the leader of the Brotherhood, and then him and Tisea are hooking up. Like that just pissed me off. His little outburst at Tisea about needing her because Ciri can stop all war. He's absolutely planning on getting her back. I did like at the end though, and I like Tisea, but I liked at the end how Tisea was really controlling that room, and you didn't see Vilgefortz. I don't know where he was. Maybe it was just she didn't invite him. They didn't carpool together, but I like the fact that she said, "Look, we're gonna hunt this girl down, and we're gonna put a bounty on her head because it's better off that she's dead to us. It's better off if she's dead than she's alive. And anybody who helps her, we're also gonna kill them." She doesn't know Geralt. She has no idea. She met Geralt once in passing. She met him at a Starbucks. So she doesn't know Geralt. She doesn't care about him. But for her interests, it makes perfect sense. I have no idea who the hell the other girl was at the Brotherhood meeting. Maybe she's in the books, maybe she's not. But I think the fact that I agree. I like to say it. She's attractive. But the fact that she had the gall, not the gall, the guts to say like, look, the elephant in the room is Ciri would be better off dead than alive. Thank God someone said it, because I like Ciri, but for the Brotherhood's interests, it does make sense that they would look to kind of get rid of her and kill her. The one character that I could not figure out was the owl, Philippa, which I guess is kind of a normal name. I'm sorry, I'm really harping on the names, but Philippa. So Philippa, I couldn't figure out because, and this is the part of the complex nature of the show. They introduce Philippa with not Vesemir. What was the guy's name? Dijkstra. So they introduced Philippa with Dijkstra, and Dijkstra, the owl's there, and he's chilling with Vesemir, and you don't really know. You're like, all right, like Hedwig just showed up from Harry Potter. Okay, fine, whatever. They have a pet, and then all of a sudden, Dijkstra. I mean, I don't know if he was, doing shrooms or what, but all of a sudden he starts taking his shirt off, getting liquored up, and just talking to an owl. And I don't know about you out there, That was confusing as hell to me. So the fact that it took them 5 episodes to clear it up that this owl was in fact like a person annoyed the shit out of me. Like flat out, just annoyed me. Because as I'm trying to recap it, I'm like, if any of you have actually watched the recap for season 2, like, yeah, I don't know if this owl's talking back or if he's just crazy, but they reveal at the end that the owl is in fact a person. It's a spy, obviously, and you figured that out. What was the kid's name? Her friend Adara was talking to the owl. The owl was relaying message back to Dijkstra. So you were able to figure out, okay, somehow this owl is able to communicate. But the fact that it finally transformed into a person, I love that aspect. What did you guys like out there? I mean, what did you guys like? What did you guys not like? I don't know if they covered the wild hunt in season 1. I feel like they probably did. I recapped season 1 over a year ago, so I don't quite remember if they did or not. But that whole thing, I know the one avenue that I really screwed up, and I tried to fix it in the recap, was I said that Ciri's ancestor, the one where when they go back into Ciri's mind and they're in the bar, and then all of a sudden they go into the field and she's bleeding and she's holding a baby. And I believe something that I said, like, oh, yeah, she's holding baby Siri, and she wasn't. I figured that out towards the end. So I put a little disclaimer that said, she's definitely not holding Siri, but that was a little bit confusing to me. That was cleared up at the end. The wild hunt thing, I had no idea what was going on about that. If any of you guys have read the book, if any of you guys played the video game and they've covered that, please fill me in on what the hell the wild hunt was. No clue. And that's another thing about the show that kind of annoys me, is if you aren't privy to the book or the video game and you're coming in cold, a lot of the stuff that they're introducing, I'd say I understand 70% of it. So to me, that's frustrating. To everybody else, I mean, it might be okay. But yeah, to me, it's a little annoying. Uh, I like the lawyers, Codringer and what's her face. I like them, and I hope to get more of them. But I can't quite figure out how lawyers know everything about everything. I mean, there's just a lot of angles to this show that confuse the ever loving hell out of me. And I want answers. I just don't know anyone that has read the books, though, that can fill me in on this. But what is something in the book or the video game that is not translated to the show? And I'm interested. I'm interested in stuff that's in the video game and the book that maybe they messed up in the show. Because I can tell you right now, when I read Ready Player One, that's one of my favorite books of all time. And then when I went to go see the movie, I hated it because, I mean, they butchered it. So I can imagine that, and this happens with like Cowboy Bebop's another example. Cowboy Bebop, they remade it, they made it live action, and everybody who watched the anime absolutely hated the live action. And I understand, if they change stuff, you're annoyed. Everybody that I talked to that didn't watch the live action, they ended up liking the live action. So like me, like I actually really like Cowboy Bebop, and then I talked to people that like the anime, and they felt personally attacked. So I could imagine that if you are reading the books, you're probably sitting there somewhat pissed off because they're either introducing characters and killing them too quickly, or just things aren't exactly right. So I'm interested that if you did end up reading the books, playing the video games, if stuff isn't translating over. They race swap lots of characters from the books, including the owl Philippa. So like, are you saying that Philippa is a guy? That would be gender swap. So Philippa, like Philippa, like, what do you mean that they race swap? Like, because are you saying in the book she's white? Like, I really don't care about that at all. Avi said, I am brand new to the Witcher books and the video games and the show. I mean, so did you get into the books and the video game because of the show? Because the show isn't really making me want to. I mean, that's really not my genre of things that I like to read about. Normally, I'm a sports guy, so I like to read about my nerd culture is completely different. My nerd culture is sports. Um, it's not really like the fantasy stuff. Like Game of Thrones, I was completely content with watching the show and never reading the books. Harry Potter, very similar. Harry, actually, no, that's not true. Harry Potter, I read. Okay, so I started reading the first book, couldn't understand it. Like, wait, the person's a cat, now he's a human. Didn't get it. Saw the movie, got it. Keep in mind, I was like in sixth grade. Um, Sixth grade is probably still too old to not understand it. Anyway, hit thumbs down for that. So read second book, read the third book, fourth book. When it was like Voldemort again, I was out. I waited for the movie. So I'm more of like, I'll just wait because, as I said with Ready Player One, there's nothing worse than reading a book, getting really excited for the movie. You see the movie and it's always disappointing. The book was better. Fast and the Furious, prime example of that. Fast and the Furious book way better than the movies, way better, especially the ninth one. So I'm interested in the people that are, if you are getting into this stuff because of the show, or if you were always interested in this genre or not. But I'm interested to see where this show goes, and they set it up perfectly for the next season. Like when this season ended, I was really excited for the third season, and I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna be frustrated with it because it's just, at this point, I've come to accept the fact that the show is gonna annoy me in many ways, but it's good enough where it keeps a guy like me entertained. A guy that isn't all about this culture. I still find myself excited to see where this storyline goes. I was also pumped that they brought back the Bard because for the first 3 or 4 episodes, I'm like, where the hell's the Bard at? And then when he showed back up, playing nothing but bangers in that bar, I mean, another hit. Dude's just a hit machine. So I was pumped about that. Um, and then the character of Yennefer, of losing her magic and trying to regain it and getting to that point where you deliver the girl to the door and then you realize, oh, shit, like I made a horrible mistake. Like really shouldn't have done this at all. I love that at that angle. And then she's kind of rewarded, I guess. I don't know how she got her power back. I don't know if it was just because of the woman in the cabin. The Deathless Mother ended up getting to where she needed to go. The Deathless Mother and a thank you might have given it. I don't understand it. But she ends up getting her power back. And I was cool about that. It's her character is very interesting because she's just never happy. And I think we all see a little bit of ourselves in Yennefer in one way or the other, just not accepting what we have, not being happy with what we have. And in this season, she had to come to accept the fact that, look, I probably should have been happier with what I had in my magic, and now that I don't have it, who the hell am I? And it was the quest to get it back. I love that angle of it because she it's always something with her. She's never satisfied. She gets the magic, she gets her looks fixed, but then she had to sacrifice having a child. And then she wants a child, but it's like she got the magic. I don't care about the magic, and then she loses the magic. She wants the magic back. I know. Look, some people might find that super annoying, but I actually liked it because this season she was able to fully realize that she does have stuff that's worth losing. And the most annoying thing about her that I found was when they finally get out of the ruins, and I think the second episode, and she meets back up with Frangilla, and Frangilla says, "What did you ask for?" And she's like exasperated, and she says, "Oh, an end to all of this." And it's like, stop, Yennefer, shut the fuck up. Like, stop being so emo, downtrodden, woe is me bullshit of, oh my God, I want an end to all this. Like, you don't have it that bad. You really don't. It's not that bad, Yennefer. All right. Like, you're a smoke show. Okay. You're hot. You didn't used to be hot. Now you're hot. All right. You had magic. Like, stop with this woe is me crap. It's not that bad. So that just, the fact that she finally came around to realizing she had stuff to lose. I like that aspect. Yes, Simon, you said it. I was thinking there are a lot of great women out there. I mean, I don't see Frangilla complaining as much as Yennefer. Frangilla's about that action. I came around to Frangilla this season. I really did. Let me switch my space heater there. I came around to Frangilla. Frangilla kind of she just I don't want to say I was indifferent towards her. It was just like, all right, Frangella's here. I'm at this white flame dude. All right, I get it. You think he's the man. And he's just solve all your problems, and then you find out she went through some bad stuff in that playhouse they talked about. But when she went back to her uncle and she asked for help, and he just dismissed her, and she went back and was like, "All right, I'll just do it myself." Good on you. Like I became a big Frangilla fan, and I did not expect that this season at all. But here I am. The one character that is interesting, the way that they depict Kahir, however you say his name, but the way they depict him when he's downtrodden and he's got nothing and he's a prisoner, and then when they depict him when he comes back and he puts on all of his armor, it's completely different. I like the show did a really good job with that. Of Sorry, my wires are tangled here. The show did a really good job of what the fuck of depicting kind of like how powerful he was. And I was really hoping that when he returned to Sintra, that he was gonna walk through the gates, and how it played out, that's how I was hoping. He's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'm back. What's up, Kahir? He's back. I'm back. Let's go. Let's rally." And they're like, "Hey, bud, who you gotta check in. We don't know who the hell you are. You over there. Like, please check in." I like that fact a lot, that he had to reassert himself and say, "Hey, I used to be in charge here," and it was like a wake up call for him. Now, eventually he got his title back, his role, whatever. But I still can't believe Francesca killed those babies. Yeah, yeah. I I don't think she killed them. I got the impression that she just marked them, but I could be wrong. I got the impression that she just scarred them with like an elven, and I even said that in my recap for it. And the reason I say that is because they were all crying. Now they might have all been crying because of the fact that they were being murdered. That's very well possible. But yeah, her just going down the road and just killing all of them. Or I mean, if they were killed, that I'm pretty sure she killed them. They were crying and then suddenly stopped. Well, I mean, geez, man. That's a buzzkill. Hit thumbs down for that. I didn't realize that. What the hell, Francesca? This is why I need to do more live chats with you guys. What are you doing? I get it. You're mad. You're upset. You don't have to kill all of them. Everyone. You don't have to kill all of them. By the way, whoever was the actor who played her brother, that was some brutal acting. How did that guy get a job? Can we just talk about that for a second? He was horrible. He was cringeworthy bad. That must have been a favor called in by somebody, because that dude was. This is a pretty well acted show. That dude sucked, and he wasn't even in it very much. And I'm sitting there just cringing every time he had a statement to make. Oh God, he was brutal. But at least he tried to stop her. Wow. Hence why the doors are mine. Yeah, now it makes sense. She killed them. It was a reference to one of the plagues, to the god. Yep, they killed the firstborn. Yep, I remember that. Which I mean that like, I grew up in the Catholic Church, 13 years of Catholic school. I even went to a Catholic college. It's pretty cold blooded of like, hey, paint your door, I'm killing your kid. That's just, it seems a little extreme to me. Really does. Like what happens if you ran out of paint? Just saying. But that was cold blooded. Like she just went off the deep end, and that was. How do you not wake up when someone murders your child? Like that's what I couldn't understand. She's having these nightmares. She wakes up and she finds Philevandrel clutching the dead child. But how did you not wake up? How did you not have armed guards? How did you not have, like, there are many questions with that dead baby that I had going in of, you don't wake up. Like, how does Philevandrel not scream when he sees the child? that I think was poorly done. I mean, like, all it was she's having a dream. She wakes up and realizes the nightmare was real. Out on that. Um, but yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this season and what you guys liked, what you guys didn't like. Once again, if you're just joining, so this is the first time I ever had to do this with any show that I've ever recapped, and I'll show you again. I had to do a cheat sheet of characters and who they were and what they did. So when I was recapping it into the mic, I could quickly go through it, and I had to pull up my little cheat sheet. Like ethylene. Why couldn't you be named Shannon? You had to name her Ethylene? Come on, man. Pissed me off. But I mean, the that whole thing, like I didn't quite understand the ethylene, and then it was a false prophet, and then like no, you understand it at the end, obviously, but um when they went back and they're showing Siri's soul, they went back into her soul, and then they go and ethylene is choking Marigold, and you find out later on, at least I did, you find out that that was actually ethylene. That was the prophecy. I had no idea that that was the prophecy at the time. I thought that was Siri's mother, and then I found out it wasn't. Um, very very difficult show for me to recap. Very difficult show, and that's why that everyone should hit thumbs down on the recap. Hooded figure with a knife killed it. Look, I get it. I'm just saying. I come into the door at any time of the day, and my dog starts barking. Doesn't matter. My dog starts barking, wakes up the whole house. Okay. You're in a castle. You have the firstborn elf, like pure blooded elven baby. It gets born. You've had miscarriage after miscarriage. You finally have a healthy baby. And you are content with leaving that baby just in the corner, rocking away. I would have guards all over the place. All over the place. But the fact that a hooded figure made it in, killed the baby. I mean, anybody who's had a baby out there, they don't sleep. They look at my eyes. Like, they don't sleep. I have a 3-year-old. He hasn't slept in 3 years. So the idea that this baby is just soundly sleeping, gets murdered, and doesn't wake up anybody, and I guess Phil Evangel, who's on bitch duty, has to come in and give it a bottle or something. Look, I know I'm supposed to, dispel a lot of things with this show, but that is something I couldn't buy. I couldn't buy it. That someone gets into that room, kills that baby, and the only thing that wakes her up is a nightmare? Not even Phil Evangel is crying in the corner? A nightmare? Like, the writer should have been better on that. Let's get to some comments here. Okay. When she found the dead baby, I thought it was all a nightmare at first. This show is, yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, you think it's a nightmare because she was having a nightmare. And then she wakes up and realizes, no, it's not a nightmare. This is real. In general, season 2 was pretty entertaining. Didn't really like the old witch as a yeah, I wasn't really feeling that either. I wasn't feeling the old witch morphing into 3 different people. That to me was that. Why was the baby even in a separate room? It's been hundreds of years. That's my point. Thank you, who said what? That's my point. Like, you finally get a baby. And you're just like, yeah, okay, we'll just put it over here. Like, the future of our people. Hey, we're good. We're good. Don't bother her. She's sleeping. Come on. Like, grow up. All right. I think it was negligent to leave the baby. Yeah, it was. Nobody does that. Nobody. I mean, as I said, I got a 3-year-old. I think he slept in our room for the first 4 months. And it was annoying because he didn't sleep. It was ridiculous. Like, read a book, Francesca. There's plenty of them out there. Mommy and Me books. All right. And the fact that it was a baby Yaga, I'm so used to seeing her tail in TV shows, it was a letdown. Who was Baby Yaga? Fill me in on that. The whole Witch in the Woods storyline was far too complicated. Yeah, I was confused by that. They They didn't do a really good job of explaining, once again, going in as somebody who did not read the books, doesn't play the video games. They didn't do a good job of going, okay, there's this prophecy, but she might be fake. But we don't know. Like, that to me was very, very confusing of, okay, well, you talked about a prophecy. Is this what we're looking at? Or is this somebody and I felt like they took way too long to explain that no, the witch in the woods is not Etheline. It's not who we're looking for, but we're going to follow the witch anyway because she's making our dreams come true. That to me was a little annoying. The Baby Yaga fairy tale. I don't know what the Baby Yaga fairy tale is. I'm sorry. I'll rock a Bing search on it. I apologize. Hit thumbs down for that, please. But yes, mythical folklore creature from Slavic state, as far as I know. Yeah, Slavic folklore, and it's often used in shows and video games. Felt like it should have been more or less known folktale. News to me. Look, there's a lot of other great qualities I have. I can I know a lot about other things, but Slavic folklore, I am a novice. I'm a neophyte when it comes to the Slavic folklore. I will try to brush up on it for the next live chat. That's on me. In the last Hellboy, are we talking like the last one that came out a couple years ago? Because I heard that was horrible, and I actually have it on digital, and I've never watched it because I've heard it was so bad that I don't know if I want to spend 2 hours of my life watching something that repeatedly I'm told is a really, really bad movie. Although I've done it before. Like I did watch that Kurt Warner movie a couple days ago, and that's absolutely brutal. As soon as I saw the hut, I said to myself, "Oh my god, Baby Yaga again!" And this is all Slavic folklore shows now. Yeah, sometimes you just go back to the well. You go back to what is comfortable. Um, I'm not saying it's right, but there's plenty of shows where like one thing that annoyed me. And speaking of like going back to the well, you're talking about this Baby Yaga thing. The one thing that annoyed me was you just got the sense that when Yennefer delivered Siri to this door, that all of a sudden she was going to realize what a big mistake she made. I thought that was kind of lazy. Like, commit to it or don't. But don't do the whole like, oh my god, I made such a big mistake and now I gotta atone for my sins. And it's I would have rather had her commit, get her power back, and just be selfish than do the whole like, I'm gonna deliver her, and I know it's not right, but oh my god, I made a mistake. Like that's been done in every single show ever. So it wasn't surprising, but it just wasn't very creative. Let someone let me know if my volume is good. Once again, I'm using a new mic, and the little mic thing on the bottom doesn't really it has like one little bar, so I don't know if it's good or not. Because if it's not, I'll switch mics. And if you hate if you hate my voice, I'll just shut my mic off. Another thing that I found really super confusing was who was that? Who was the dude that she used to hook up with that is a historian, and he's an historian because just like vegans, like he loves telling people he's a historian. And someone will let me know in the comment section what his name is. But that dude, when he was explaining the conduits, look, I'll be the first one to tell you, I didn't go to a good college. Okay. Did not get straight A's. I was a C's get degrees guy. When they gave me my diploma, it was like, even they were surprised that I made it. So I'm not the brightest bulb in on the tree. But with that said, that was confusing as hell. There's this thing that happened. Istrid, thank you, Jorgen Schmorgen. Istrid, yes. So yeah, Istrid, dude. Enough of the I'm a historian. Like we get it. Everybody in the world knows you're a historian, as if like that's like this big thing. Like great, good job. We get it, bud. You don't have a dog in the fight. You're just a historian. No one cares. But when he's explaining everything, that there are these conduits and that's what open, like, I'm like, what are you talking? What are you saying? What? The conduits? And you thought that the monoliths were this and they're that? Like, what? Very confusing. Um, the vampire chick was so creepy. Well done. Yeah, she was awesome. And the thing with her was, yeah, look, there's nothing wrong. So, quick story, Avi. So, I went to, I didn't get into my school that I wanted to go to, and then I didn't get into my safety school. I didn't get into my safety school or my fourth safety school. So at this point, it's like senior year of high school, and I didn't have bad grades either. It's just like I kind of like just didn't exactly try my senior year. Anyway, you don't care. So I met with my advisor. I ended up going to this college that basically like accepted like everybody. If you had a pulse, you got in. So senior year, I go to my advisor and she's looking at my grades and we're talking about this and that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really care. Like, C's get degrees. And she was so mortified. She was legitimately horrified at this statement. And I told her, look, there's a guy that finishes dead last every year in Harvard Med School. You know what they call him? A doctor. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting C's get degrees because we all know somebody who's like that straight A student, and you look at them and you're like, they're not going to make it in this field. And sure enough, I can say right now, the girl that finished like top of our class in the department that I majored in, like she hasn't made it because she couldn't handle the heat, if you will, in the kitchen. So I'm a big fan of C's get degrees. Do whatever you need to do to just finish the job. There's no point in, like, I had to take so many stupid classes in college where I'm like, I'm never going to use this, but they need their $3,000 per class. So, they made me take, theology. I probably should have taken Slavic folklore because then I would have at least known what the hell was going on in this show, but I didn't. So, mistakes were made. Yeah, Istrid's a little annoying, but as I said, like, I like the fact that at least he's kind of figured it out. I just wish to God that they explained it in, like, okay, dumb it down for me. As I guess the whole message I'm trying to say here. This show needs to dumb it down for people like me when they start using this terminology that is just so damn complicated, and I'm confused. So when he starts talking about monoliths and conduits and, well, we thought this was going on, but in reality it was this, dude, I'm lost as the viewer. I don't mind his character, but even like him going to the lawyers, why? So you go to a lawyer, you're an historian, as you've astutely told literally everybody. You go to these lawyers because you've heard that they know everything. Why wouldn't you go to another historian? Why wouldn't another historian know everything? But instead, you go to a lawyer. That to me was not great. I think that the two lawyers are characters in the books and the games. I just don't understand how lawyers know everything about everything. They're supposed to be attorney-client privilege. Apparently, they don't know that snitches get stitches because they started spilling everything for, I mean, Nilfgaardian gold or whatever the hell it was. So, if anyone has any questions, throw them out there. I like the show. Truthfully, I don't love the show, but I like the show. Hit thumbs down for that. But I'm interested to hear from people that are diehards what you guys think and what you guys think is going to happen in season 3. For me, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when they do the whole reveal that to Siri that her dad is alive. Obviously, she's met her dad in dreams, and she was in that dream state where she was at the ball with Musak, and she was dancing, and she saw her parents. So obviously, she knows what her dad looks like. I'm interested to see though if they do, and this is another lazy trope that a lot of shows and movies will do it. they reintroduce the father, the long lost dad, the long lost mother, but the person doesn't actually tell the child like, "Hey, I'm your dad," right off the bat. They just let the kid think that that person's the enemy. I'm interested to see what happens with that. I'm interested to see what happens with Geralt and taking care of Siri, but the fact that he has no idea he's a marked man now, now that the Brotherhood has put a bounty on his head unknowingly, that should be interesting. And it's also going to be interesting to see if she comes around to giving her blood. She hasn't agreed to give her blood to make new Witchers. The other thing I had a little bit of problem with is they talk so much about Witchers and the process to make a Witcher and how painful it is and how people don't make it. And it's obviously Vesemir wants more Witchers to keep his people going, but where is he going to find these kids? Because he clearly was haunted by the fact that he had to inject these kids and some didn't make it. So what's going to happen when he has to make new kids and make those kids into Witchers? Like that's to me is something that they need to go down that road a little bit more. The conjunction sphere is the wild hunt to monoliths, Witch in the Woods. Yeah, he's very, very lost in everything you just laid out, Simon. All of it. The conjunction of spheres. Like, who the hell wrote this? And what LSD pill shroom mixture were they on when they came up with this? I can tell you, Cobra Kai, not confusing at all. This, like, lost on it. So, yeah, very confusing. Very, very confusing. Only 3 yeah. So where are you getting the kids? I guess you're getting the kids from I guess you're getting the kids from orphans. I think that's what Geralt was given up, right? Like he was sold. Um, Vincent, what's going on, man? Um, didn't Siri have her blood? It was stolen by the burn face. It was. By the way, the burn face guy searing off Lydia. Thank God they had a Lydia. Lydia's a normal name. I can get behind a Lydia. Savage move by him. Unfortunate though. I had a thing for Lydia. Not gonna pretend I didn't. She was cute. Now she has half a face. That's unfortunate. I was a little bit mad. Oh, thank you so much, Vincent. I appreciate that. I was a little bit mad that they didn't reveal who her employer is. That was a little bit frustrating because I really wanted to know, but that's called a tease for season 3. I also want to know how fast they're going to get season 3 out because obviously COVID kind of held up season 2. Season 3, I figure might be out, I guess, in a year. But that was one thing that I was kind of hoping that they would reveal. And I kind of expected her employer to be the White Flame. And the fact that it wasn't the White Flame was surprising. Like, who else is out there? First of all, they don't have cell phones. It seems like they don't even like how do they communicate? Like, they don't have telephones. They don't have iPhones. Well, telephone is an iPhone, you idiot. Hit thumbs down for that analogy. They don't have the internet. Yet everybody knows that Siri is this special person and everybody's after her. I'm just saying you need to explain that a little bit more. A little bit more. I think I saw that they at the very least had the script done. But it's very possible they started because I know a lot of shows like The Witcher have like Ted Lasso did this where they wanted to like churn it out right away because they don't want to wait because they had to wait so long because of COVID. And hopefully, by the way, everyone out there is staying safe and all that, and everyone's good because the variant's going around. But I think they're probably going to turn it out pretty quickly. But it's also the question of like when does Netflix want to release it? Netflix seems to want to release stuff a year later. So, like, the prime example would be Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai got released last year on January 1st. This year, it's getting released on December 31st. I have a feeling that Cobra Kai was probably done. I know for a fact that it was done 3 months ago. It was finished. but they didn't release it 3 months ago. So, and I think a lot of these shows want to space stuff out, or a lot of these streaming platforms want to space stuff out. So, just like movies, they're gonna have to figure out what other streaming services are like. I don't think um, I don't think it was a mistake that this came out the week after Succession ended. And I could be completely wrong because it's not like the two are in the same genre, but they're two wildly popular shows. And I just, if you notice, a lot of times like these shows will start when really nothing else is kind of coming out, nothing else is dropping. So it's a lot like, the music bit did it with CDs and albums. They would wait to see what else is getting released, and they try to drop their big stuff when there's no real competition. I feel like Netflix did that, and they'll have a 2-week grace period with The Witcher, and then they're going to drop Cobra Kai on December 31st. And after that, I don't know what they have after that, actually. I know what I have. After that, Disney Plus, I think, is dropping Boba Fett, and then um, Hawkeye just got wrapped up. I'm trying to think of what else is coming out. I have a list in my phone of shows. Where is it? Yeah, Boba Fett gets released December 29th. So Boba Fett and Cobra Kai are going up against each other. And then for me at least, Servant and Snowpiercer. Servant drops the Friday, January 21st, and then Snowpiercer, I think, drops Sunday, January 24th. Let me double check that. So at least that's what I got on the docket. And eventually January 21st. Yeah. That's what I have coming up. Eventually I'm going to do, what was that show? Squid Game. I'm not in any rush to get it done, mainly because there's just so much competition with Squid Game. I mean, there's so many damn videos out there that a lot of times, you'll find a popular show, and if you don't get the video up like right away, then your video just gets buried and you kind of just waste your time. So I'm in no rush to get Squid Game done. I watched one episode, I liked it, but I know that it's going to be wildly popular, and there's a lot of competition out there for Squid Game views and eyeballs. So I'm not in any rush to get that. I need to get Pennyworth season 2 done as well. Um, but I probably have a year until The Witcher. Thank you so much, Walden 2079. I appreciate that. It's good to know that people don't think I suck. So I do appreciate anything. I appreciate everyone just watching, to be truthful. I say this every time I do one. Well, every time I did. This is the second one I've done, but uh, the fact that people actually watch my crap, the amount of mistakes that I make, there's nothing more frustrating than finding mistakes. Prime example, season 1 of The Witcher. I try to avoid the comment, and I say it after in every single end screen. I try to avoid the comment section at all costs, because there'll be 100 nice comments, and that one comment that's like, dude, you suck, just bothers me. But sometimes, I'll end up seeing a comment here and there uh, by accident. And it's one of those things where as soon as I see like literally just letters, I have to read it. So I saw someone say, hey, what happened to episode 8 and 9? And I was like, oh my God, please tell me for season 1 of The Witcher, please tell me I did not forget to include literally 2 episodes, because that's happened before. What happens is, and I'll show you guys what I do. So I do everything on my phone. All these videos are edited on my phone, and what I do is, let me pull it up. So I have the individual um video. I'll finish the video on this app here, okay? And then I will upload the single video up, and then I'll save it, and then I'll put it towards the end of the full recap. And that'll be like, so I'll do episode 1, I'll upload it up on YouTube, the first episode, and then in a separate video I'll do episode 2, and then in that video I'll save it, and then I'll put it at the end of episode 1. And that way I can upload all of it at once, right? Every once in a while, for whatever reason, whether it be I'm in a rush, I forget to save a video. I'll be like, yeah, I'll do it later. I'll forget to save the video, and I just forget to include it. And that happened with, I think, The Boys season 1. I completely forgot like one of the episodes. And because I avoid the comment section, I didn't see it in enough time um, to like include, a tab or something to like, hey, here's the episode. So I see this comment of like, hey, where's episodes 8 and 9? I'm like, oh my god, did I actually forget 2 episodes? I didn't. Problem is, the very bottom of my videos, you'll see episode 7. I went to episode 7. I went to episode 10, and in reality, it was episode 7, episode 8. I just by accident put episode 10. Um, so there's a prime example. The fact that I make all these mistakes and people still watch it, and still people are nice and and people like Vince, telling me, he appreciates all this. And truthfully, I appreciate you guys because I wouldn't listen to my voice. That's for sure. And my family tells me that they don't want to listen to my voice. So the fact that people do is shocking, but I appreciate it because these take way too much time to do. And right now I'm working on the next one that I'll do that may or may not be dropping. Just I can't say what it is, but it may or may not be dropping towards the end of the year. But I am all finished that series. I am in the process of recapping it. I'm on episode 5. I watched it all. I just got to put the pictures to the audio, and that should be dropping. So but I'm relieved to be done with The Witcher. Honestly, it was very stressful to get that done and get that recapped and finished. And once again, I like the series, but it's also extremely confusing. Can you do a reading of one books? Like Avi, what do you mean? Can I do like? Are you asking like can I read books? I can read. I did learn, not well, but I can read. If you're asking if I can read a book, like as in read the book and recap the book, no. I hate telling people no, but like I just don't have the time. I have a day job like everybody else. I do this at night. I work mornings. I got a family. I go as you can tell if you follow the channel, I go to a lot of movies. As soon as I finish up this, I got to do a movie 60-second movie review for the Ben Affleck movie The Tender Bar. Spoiler alert, it's really good. At least I really liked it. I don't have time to like read books, and then go on a recap of the book. I apologize to let you down. Um, you just joined a lot of people in my life who were let down by something I did, but yes, I apologize. Audiobooks, yeah, it's just something I'm probably just not right now at least. Yeah, I just don't have the time, man. That's what it is. There's always something that, I mean, these videos, they don't look at, but like a 10-minute video that I make will take me 3 hours to do. So you figure recapping a series, and I usually put up like a video a day. Now I haven't done it in December, but December has been because of the fact that, and I put a post up about this. I was waiting to get The Witcher. Once I got The Witcher, I had to wait, I had to watch it, recap it all, but I had to wait to release it. Like I release it the day it comes out. So then I was waiting for the next series that I got, which I finished it. And I'm doing that now. But normally, like in a normal month, as you guys probably know if you subscribe to the channel, um, normally I'll release like a video a day. So that's like 3 hours right there. And then as I said, I got a day job and a family, uh and then I play hockey, which I'm horrible. All right, let's see what else we got here. Fred Gwynn. Now I gotta look up who Fred Gwynn is. Fred Gwynn. What the hell's Fred Gwynn? Let's look up who Fred Gwynn is. I don't even want to know who I remind you people of. Like, I get Tyrion Lannister a lot because I'm short. Oh, this dude? I'll take that as a compliment because I love my cousin Vinny. My cousin, like, he was great in my Ute. I personally don't see it, but thank you because he just recently passed away, unfortunately, I think, but I think he did at least. No, you idiot. He died July 2nd, 1993, and I just said he recently passed away. Hit thumbs down. I guess recently is subjective in the history of in the annals of time. It was pretty recent, but yeah. Let's see what else. You have a Boston East Coast accent. I am from Philadelphia. So mom's from New York, upstate New York, and I was born in Philadelphia, so it's like a half Philly, half New York accent. So I guess that makes sense. Um You've done a real good job. Thank you so much, Simon, because I think I have been struggling with this. Um, did you think of doing a recap for Carnival Row? How many seasons is that? Here's my problem with doing recaps of shows. What did you say no to, Warren? You just said no. Uh, like I said a lot there, so I just need to know what you're saying no to. Um, let's see. Carnival Row. It looked interesting. Carnival. What do we got? How many seasons? 2 seasons. So here's my problem with doing a show like Carnival Row. Um, I guess there's no problem. They're having a second season. It's not released yet. Yeah, I can do it. My question to you, who said what? And how confusing is it? Is it like The Witcher where I'm going to be sitting there writing down names because I'm confused as all hell and I'm ready to pull my hair out, or is it a little bit easier to follow and a lot less complex? Because The Witcher, as I said, is very complex, and at times it's very tough for me to follow, especially for a recap format. Um, the whole point of a recap is to fill everybody in on what they missed, and that means that you're supposed to really understand the the subject matter. And I'm here telling you right now, I didn't understand all the subject matter of The Witcher, which made it a real pain. I will check it out. I will definitely check it out because it did look interesting. Um, I do enjoy Orlando Bloom. I can't stand Cara Delevingne though. I mean, the fact that Hollywood is making her a thing, she's horrible. She's a horrible actress. It's like Ty Sheridan. Can we please stop putting Ty Sheridan and stuff? But Cara Delevingne is cringeworthy bad. I will check it out though. There's other stuff I do need to get to. Like I did Pennyworth season 1 and I liked it. I do need to do season 2 though. I did season 1 because of the fact that I was watching it for the first time. But I do need to check out season 2. I'm hesitant to do it though because season 3 hasn't been announced and I don't want to waste my time. Like I really when I get a show early, like The Witcher, for example, I kill myself to get it up the day it drops. And even The Witcher, I wasn't able to because Netflix only gave everybody episodes 1 through 6. So normally when I get stuff early, the first episode of episode 1 of that recap will drop at like 4 a.m. I'll time it out so that if you watched episode 1 through, I am not ruining anything for anybody. So the last episode will usually drop at like 11. Ideally, was going to happen with The Witcher. They only gave me episodes 1 through 6. That meant I had to wake up on Friday. I woke up on Friday morning. I didn't get the full recap up until like 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, I try to get this stuff up as early as possible, and I really kill myself to try to get it done by the drop day. And what sucks is when you bust your ass on something and they don't renew it. So like Cowboy Bebop, the fact that that wasn't renewed, like I'm pissed. I'm pissed because I like the show, but I'm also pissed because it's like no one's going to need a recap for Cowboy Bebop when there's not going to be a season 2. So I'm hesitant to do any shows that aren't confirmed for a season, a next season. Now, a show like The Witcher, there's obviously going to be another season. With a show like Succession, same thing. There are mitigating circumstances. Like I did Sweet Tooth, having no idea if there was going to be season 2, but I figured, okay, like this show will definitely the season it'll definitely be I think be a season 2, and there is. And by the way, if you haven't watched Sweet Tooth, it's tremendous. It was one of my favorite shows Netflix has ever done. So Jawad, I think I said your name right. I'll just call you Ali. So I saw that they were talking about doing Pennyworth on season 3 on HBO Max, but I didn't see it confirmed. I saw that was rumored, but I do need to do season 2. I just need to start it. Putting it on Epics I found was interesting. They tried this before with putting stuff on Epics, and then eventually they just ended up putting it on HBO because they realized, like, I like Epics, I don't mind it, but, like, it's just I feel like it is just for a forgotten platform that HBO needs to get rid of Epics and literally just put everything on HBO Max. Vince asked, "What's everyone's favorite streaming service?" I guess mine's Netflix. I think Netflix probably has the best stuff, but HBO Max is up there. I do like the original content that Disney Plus has. Um, it's just not enough of it. Like they did a movie called Togo, which Willem Dafoe, which I loved, but they don't do enough like original movies. Netflix is great because they drop so much content that I guess it would be that, seemingly every single day there's something coming out on Netflix. So I would say it's probably Netflix. But HBO Max close second. Showtime, I think, sucks. I think Showtime used to be really good. And they don't I feel like they don't have a lot of stuff. I tried to watch Your Honor. I couldn't really get into it. Maybe I'll try it again. I know a lot of people have liked it. I personally was like kind of bored out of my mind. Um, I thought The Witcher was amazing. I can't wait for the next season. Yeah, like, as I said, like I liked it. I liked the season 2 better than I liked season 1. And I am the tease at the end of season 2 was great. Like with her dad being the White Knight, the White Knight. Hit thumbs down for that. Her dad being the White Flame. I thought that was very good. I like Amazon Prime too. Amazon Prime has some gems. Like their movies, Amazon Prime's movie studio is really, really good. It's an underrated movie studio that doesn't get a lot of credit, but they'll have movies come out that I can tell you like are really, really good. Like I told you, the movie that I had to do a 60-second review for once I'm done with this, The Tender Bar, which has Ben Affleck in it, and unfortunately it did have Ty Sheridan. That movie was really good. And by the way, I know that this is kind of morphed in from the Witcher recap to just like a chat. So hit thumbs down for that or just ask Witcher questions. Um, but like they had one of the best movies I saw last year called 2 years ago, The Vast of Night. Any of you are into like sci-fi, The Vast of Night on Amazon Prime is incredible. I saw that at the Philly Film Festival, and the Philly Film Festival has a program where you can go see like movies for free. Now they're not going to be, I feel like a lot of times they're going to be like these art house movies, but like they're not going to be the big movies. The Philly Film Festival has a history of having the Oscar winning movie either open or closed. So like this year they had Belfast. What else did they have? They might um oh my god, they had Belfast was the big one. Um I can't remember the closing night one, but they always have Oscar winning movies. Uh so the free movies that they're going to give you aren't certainly not. Oh, they had King Richard. I know because I saw that at the Philly Film Festival. Um to make a long story long, I went to a free movie, didn't know anything about it. I saw a teaser trailer for it, which was basically a camera going from a gym to a radio station, and clearly in the 1950s. And I was like, all right, I got nothing to do. I'll go see it. It was awesome. It was so good and ended up being one of my favorite movies of the year. And it's definitely an Amazon Prime gem. If you've not seen The Vast Night, go see it. It's one of my favorite movie going experiences just because I had no expectations. I didn't know what I was seeing. I didn't know if it was going to suck or be great. And it was incredible. Loved it. Yeah, and Amazon Prime's original shows, they are good. I can't think of like I haven't watched Hannah season 3, and there's another example of like I recap season 1 and 2, but season 3 is the last season. But I liked Hannah a lot. I thought Hannah was good. I liked the movie. I think they did a really good job with the show. I thought that Sandra Bullock Netflix was pretty. Okay, so you're talking. Simon's talking about the Unforgivable, and I did a review for that, a 60-second review, very hard hitting 60-second review, and I liked it. I guess like it's dark, and she is so good in it. I would say it was decent, but it's a very dark movie, and it was just a departure for her. I've never seen her in a role like that. Like she was hardened in this movie, and yeah, she was. It is. It was just very interesting to see Sandra Bullock in that light. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was decent. It was okay. Um, I'm trying to think of the last like really like I've been watching the Bad Sports series on Netflix, which I'm a big sports fan. So the Bad Sports series is really good, and I don't think you need to be a sports fan to really enjoy it. It's just an interesting look into basically not conspiracies, controversies in sports and how they were, shine a light. People found out about it. Blah blah blah. So look, if anyone has any more questions, throw them out there. I will be happy to answer anything you have. I found it interesting that when I put the poll question out of like, hey, these two series ended. We had Succession and we had The Witcher. Do you want to recap for Succession? Do you want to recap for The Witcher? Do you want to ask me anything live chat or get back to work recap boy? And the ask me anything was like the last. Nobody wanted to ask me anything. And I do feel like ask me anythings are lazy content. Like when YouTubers do ask me anything, it's like, yeah, I got nothing else to do. So I got to put something up. Hey, ask me anything. Like, I don't, how many do you guys really even care? Is the question. Like right now, if I was you, ask me anything, like, how bad is your hair? It's brutal. I don't know what the hell happened. You take your hoodie off, and then all of a sudden, shit goes wrong. Um, but I kind of cracked up at that of like, get back to work, social boy, or no, get back to work, recap boy had more votes than doing an ask me anything. I will say that I am going to do a live chat for my favorite movies of the year and my least favorite movies of the year. I've done separate videos for these in the past, and last year actually I did do a live chat. I didn't realize I was doing it, but I did a live chat of maybe it might have been the worst movies I've seen of the year. I can tell you right now that I have not watched nearly as many movies as I have in the past. So, for example, last year in 2020, I keep track of this stuff. Last year I watched 106 movies, and this year I am up to 91. So I'm not gonna make 100. I'm not gonna watch 15 movies in a week. I can tell you that. I think part of it was the fact that I really got deep into recapping shows, and shows took up a large portion of what I was doing. I also think that the lack of movies being released had something to do with it. The lack of good movies being released. It got to the point where like movies that were being released, you didn't really want to see. Studios were holding stuff out. I don't know why Disney actually held Eternals. I mean, you could have dropped that on Disney Plus. That was terrible. And I feel bad because my 60-second review of the Eternals, I was kind of on that Marvel high walking out like, oh, it can't be that bad. It was a Marvel movie. And then I got forced to go watch it again, and I realized just how bad it was. Yeah, Eternals was brutal. But I'm gonna do two separate live chats. Probably, I'm going to Jamaica in a couple days, and when I get back, if I'm allowed back in the country, I'll probably do it January, 8th or 9th, or maybe one of those weeknights. I'll do a live chat, and I'll do two separate ones. I'll do my favorite movies of the year. I'll do my least favorites. I will put in the description all the movies I've seen, so at least you have an idea. To give you guys a glance real quick, these are movies that I am seeing for the first time this year. So, it might have come out 3 years ago, but if I'm seeing it for the first time, I'm including it because I disagree with the Academy so much. I get legitimately triggered when the Oscars get nominated. I can tell you right now, there's a movie that's going to get nominated that I think that is in my worst movies of the year. And I get annoyed. So I started keeping track of, all right, well, let me figure out what my favorite movie of the year was. But I didn't want to put, the movies that just got released that year, because a lot of times what will happen is these movies, quote, get released in 2021, but they get the theatrical release in 2022. Technically, they were released in 2021 because they did the award, the festival circuit. It's too confusing. So I just started doing, hey, if I saw it in 2021 for the first time, saw that year, I started keeping track of it. Let's see if anyone had any questions. I hope you will do the book. Okay. Avi, I won't. And I will. The only reason why is because for whatever reason, I feel bad because I've like told Avi I'm not doing like everything he's asked for, or she. The only reason why is because for whatever reason, Disney Plus stuff does horribly. I don't know why. Can't tell you. And it's not like I'm waiting to get this stuff up. The Mandalorian season 1 recap has like 10,000 views. And to some, that's great. But to me, that's not good at all. Season 2 recap, which I got up the day it was released. I got up, if that recap, if that episode came out at 3 a.m., the full recap was up at noon. And I think that has like 3,000 views. And it's the same thing with all of the Marvel stuff. It's one of the reasons why I didn't recap Hawkeye, because for whatever reason, everything I have recapped from the Disney Plus streaming service has done horrible numbers wise. So I'm gonna watch Boba Fett. Absolutely. Like, I can't wait for Boba Fett. I won't be recapping it just because it's not worth my time to recap. The juice just isn't worth the squeeze. I don't want to spend 30 hours on something where it gets 3,000 views and I mean it makes $4, $10. Like, to me, that's such a letdown. Like, I look forward to the drop day, if you will, like the day where you're gonna need that recap, the day where season 2 is coming out. So the Mandalorian coming out, I couldn't wait for season 2 to get dropped because that's the time period where you're gonna need a season 1 recap. The numbers were terrible. And normally, in a weird twist, you would think that your numbers, only people watch that stuff when the new season comes out. But in a weird twist, it's not that case at all. When the series gets released, your numbers jack up too. So if I do, like, for example, The Witcher, well, this happened with Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso's season 1 recap that I did, I released that in like July. I was doing Sweet Tooth and I contracted it out to a buddy and he did it. That's why you hear a different voice. And that got up in July. So that was late. I just kind of wanted to see what it was. Look, it's a comedy. So, like, do you really need a recap for it? So I paid him some cash. He did it for me. I think that season 1 recap has like 7,000 views. I didn't expect it to do well, and it didn't. Fine. I released the season 2 recap the day it came out. That thing has like 20,000 views. It's dwarfed it. So whether it's the new season coming out, whether it gets released that day, Disney Plus stuff just does not do well. And it sucks because I wish to God it did do well. I would like to recap it. I like watching their stuff. As I said, it doesn't do well. So because of that, I kind of got to go where the money is. Like, it's one of the reasons why I tell, I never beg you guys to, you'll never hear one of my videos starting off with, "Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're putting up fire content that's cringeworthy shit. Like, subscribe, don't hit thumbs up, smash thumbs down. I don't care. Let the ads run. I got bills to pay. So because of that reason, I got to go where the views are and where the money is. Disney Plus stuff, there's no money in it, and it sucks. But people just don't watch. Let's go. What recaps are on the way that you can share? Okay, so I can tell you right now, I will be recapping. Where's my list? I have a list coming out. Servant, which hits on January 21st. If you have not watched Servant, Apple Plus, look, I can't stand Apple. They annoy me. Their little genius bar. Like, do you have an appointment? Like, you're not a doctor's office. Why do I need an appointment to get my phone fixed? But their streaming service, they have incredible stuff. And it's not just Ted Lasso. They have some, like, their movies kind of suck. But for the most part, everything I've watched on Apple Plus has been really good. And Servant is another example of that. And I'm not just saying this because I'm from Philadelphia and it's made by M. Night Shyamalan and it's set in Philadelphia. But that show is freaky. And I think my favorite part is it's 35-minute episodes. You can breeze through it. If you haven't watched it, I highly suggest it. I do have a season 1 and season 2 recap up. You can find it on the channel, or you could just watch the show and get ready for season 3. But season 3 is dropping on January 21st. I will be recapping that. That's a week by week show, which I much prefer week by week shows. It's just easier to do for me. Snowpiercer on January 24th. Season 3 is coming out for that. There's another show that was based off of a movie, which is based off a graphic novel. Love the movie. I have a season 1 recap and a season 2 recap. That's a show on TNT, but it's gritty as hell. Don't let the TNT thing deter you, just because it's like cable. You can also watch it on HBO Max because HBO owns TNT, but that's really good. I'll be recapping that as well. And then Cobra Kai comes out December 31st, and that full recap will be done December 31st. The next one that's going to be up is Cobra Kai. And then you're going to have Servant week by week, and you're going to have Snowpiercer. And somewhere in there, I'll decide, another show between January 1st and between January 21st is when Servant comes out. I will recap something. It might be Pennyworth season 2 just to get it out of the way because I started season 1 and I finished that a couple months ago. But and then we got to see what comes out. What else do we got? I enjoy your opinions on the industry. Thank you, Vince. I appreciate that. Yeah, the industry is it's something. It's something, man. It's videos you think will do well, don't. Videos you think that won't do well, do. It's very interesting to go through this YouTube journey. I'm still learning, obviously. I think that's painfully obvious with some of the videos I do, but it's interesting to see what people like and what they don't, and what gets people upset, what doesn't. The other competition that you have in the industry. There's a guy, the man of recaps, who does a great job. His recaps are quicker. Mine obviously are way long. But like he does a great job. I don't think there's many of us like doing like just recaps. And that was one of the things that when I started it, like I didn't really care about. I hope I started this, and I said this last live chat. I started doing this because I needed a season 2 recap of Ozark, and I couldn't find one. And every time I searched, like every time I thought I found one, it was really just some guy giving me his opinion. Like I don't care about your opinion. I just need a recap of the show. I watched it a year ago. I forgot what happened. I don't feel like watching 8 hours of television. Tell me what happened. And this guy's giving me his opinion. And so I just was like, I'll do it myself. So, but yeah, any questions you have about the industry, just shoot them over. The Night House was really good. I wanted to see that. I couldn't make it because I think I had another screening that night. But I did want to check it out because it looked weird. What are the movies you're looking forward to in 20? Let me look at what's coming out. I went to my last screening last night. I do want to see Kingsman. I liked Kingsman 2. I didn't love it. It was good. It wasn't as good as the first one. I'm interested in season. I'm interested in the third one though. Let me see. Coming soon. Probably should just come back to this one as I look. I'm not seeing anything. The problem is a lot of these movies that I'm going to see like coming soons are January movies, and the January movies always suck. January and February movies are not a good sign. I am looking forward to Death on the Nile, although it's released in February. So that's not, as I said, not a great sign. What else do we have here? I'm looking forward to Morbius, but that's a January movie. That's been pushed back a bunch. And truthfully, I haven't really loved Phase 4. I think it's Phase 4, right? I haven't loved Phase 4 of what I've seen so far from Marvel. I thought Shang-Chi was mediocre. After watching the second time, Eternals was bad. Spider-Man was incredible, but Eternals, like, Sprite was the Jar Jar Binks of the MCU. It was brutal. So I just haven't really liked what they've done with it. Let's see, what else do we have here coming out? The Batman I'm looking forward to, and I'm not a DC guy at all. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think Robert Pattinson's going to be a really, really good Batman. Really good Batman. The Lost City, because I do like Sandra Bullock. And Fantastic Beasts. I'm a Harry Potter nut. I think Harry Potter's the best movie franchise in history. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's all that I see for coming soon for my little Flickster app. But yeah, hopefully movies will like be back to normal. I don't think we're actually gonna be back to normal though. The variant keeps going around. I need to watch Raya and the Last Dragon, and I was just talking about this with my child, the 3-year-old. but I need to watch it by myself because watching it with a 3-year-old, it's like the amount of questions a 3-year-old asks you. I was warned about this from plenty of people that 3-year-olds just don't shut up. But good lord, it's like this kid. I love him, but he just keeps asking questions over and over again. And I can't watch a movie with him. But Lightyear. I can't wait for Lightyear. I'm a big, but I'll show you right now. I got my Buzz Lightyear backpack. It's definitely seen better days. So I got my Buzz Lightyear backpack. But I am looking forward to that, and we're gonna take my son to the movies for that one. That'll be the first movie he goes and sees. But I can tell you a movie right now that's out that I really love that you can. It might be on Amazon. You might have to rent it. The Novice. If you're a fan of Whiplash, The Novice was great. That was another Philly Film Festival gem that I really, really, really liked. So go check that out. I was pleasantly surprised. Right? Yep, Simon liked it as well. Let's see what else we got. I also want to see I want to see Encanto as well. Love Tick Tick Boom. Love Tick Tick Boom. That movie, like, first of all, didn't know it was a true story, and I'm sitting there being like, man, everyone's dying of age in this movie. It's like Rent, and then you find out it's about the guy who wrote Rent. Kind of a sucker for musicals, but that was so well done. I love The Greatest Showman. Anyone who knows me personally knows, like, I'm the biggest Greatest Showman fan of all time. Saw it 7 times in the theater, and if it was out right now, I'd go see it again. Love that damn movie. So I was a huge fan of Tick Tick Boom. Me and my kids still sing Bohemian Boho Life or whatever it's called. This is the life. Yeah, we're like always singing that because he loves that song. Although I do have to turn down the one part because they curse. But great movie though. Great movie. Yeah, toss a coin. Like The Witcher, we need a full soundtrack of the Bard songs because I said it earlier, but the song he was playing in the season 2 was a banger. Great song. Loved it. A Capulo a Cap Calpoco? The hell is that? What the hell is a Capo? What? Okay, Vince, let me know what it is, where I can watch it. Is it Philadelphia that has all those poor homeless zombie people? Um, I mean, that's like every major city. Like we don't have. You might be talking about Skid Row. That's L.A. We have our fair share of homeless people. I mean, but that's like every city. Like New York has a lot. You know, you're gonna find that in any major city. House of the Dragon. I don't know if I will or not. It depends. If it's week by week, probably. Um, but I'm not. Oh, Uncharted. Looking forward to that. Yep. Top 5 movie quotes. Jeez, man, that's a tough one. Big comedy guy. Love comedies. So, I always say probably once a day I will break out. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it rains. That's from Bull Durham. I have to think about that. Um, yeah, that's a tough one. I'll get back to you the next time I do a live chat. Um, okay, I'll check out the Apple, a couple, whatever. I I will take your suggestion. All right, I think that's gonna be it. Thank you so much, everybody, for checking this out. It kind of morphed into like just us discussing little stuff. Um, Acapulco. Once again, I didn't get no good college. You got to forgive me sometimes. There's a lot of great qualities. I said it earlier. A lot of great qualities I have. I can pretty much tell you where a lot of guys were drafted in what sport. Like it's embarrassing at times. Like my recall of drafts and where guys went to college, great at that. You throw a name out there, I probably know where he went to college if he's an athlete. And but yeah, reading and like that, no. You see, like we all have our faults. That's mine. But yes, thank you so much for checking this out and all of that. The people that donated some cash, greatly appreciate that. Uh, Especially with like the holidays coming up. That was cool. I always have merch. You can buy a mug or something or don't. You know, I'll never know if you don't. So it's I understand it. We all have bills to pay. But the fact that everybody like came and showed up and chatted away, and um, it's definitely cool little community that we have here on the channel. As I said, I'll be back in like 2 weeks to do one for the best movies and one for the worst. Let me know if you guys want the best. I'll probably actually I'll put a poll out. I'll put a poll out. I'm not gonna make you like 'cause then I gotta wait and see everybody's response, and then we're here another like 15 minutes. And you guys all have lives and stuff going on. So thank you so much for checking this out. I greatly appreciate it. We'll do this again in 2 weeks. Hopefully you guys liked The Witcher. Hopefully if you watched The Witcher recap that I did, you liked it. We got Cobra Kai coming up in about a week. So look out for that recap. If you need a recap of season 3, I got it. If you need a recap of the full series, I also have that as well. Seasons 1, 2, and 3. I condensed them all into one video. And if you know somebody that needs one, as I always say, please consider just passing it along. If somebody mentions to you, I forgot what happened, just be like, yo, I got a guy. Send them the link to the video. And you can tell him, he doesn't even want you to watch the whole thing. Just let the ad run. That's all he cares about. He's a whore for money. He'll pretty much shake his ass for $1 bill. Doesn't care. But yeah, just share it, all that good stuff. Like, subscribe, thumbs down, thumbs up. I don't care about that, but let the ad run. All right. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a great holiday if you celebrate, and stay safe.